fact that you're here tells me that you might have several questions related to cryptocurrency. Like, what is it? Is it even useful? Will its prices go up or down in the future? Or will the government even ban it? There are many such questions that you might have, but not enough resources out there that can help you understand it all. Well, no problem, that's why I'm here. You only need to know 5 concepts in order to understand cryptocurrency better. And for understanding these 5 concepts, you don't have to look at 5 videos or search for them here and there. Because in this video, you'll get to know about all 5 of them. So, if that sounds interesting, let's hop into it. Number 1. Money versus currency. Until now, you were thinking that the cash you have is called money. Let us assume that the government just decides to ban the 2000 rupee note you have in your pocket. So the value of all the currency that you have will instantly become zero. But that is not the case with money. Its value cannot be zero. Why? Because it has its intrinsic value stored. For example, you have a gold coin. You can exchange it with currency at any time and the government just cannot ban it, and it is acceptable throughout the world. It might be the case that the currency of one country isn't acceptable in another, and you have to go through a whole lot of hassle to exchange currencies through a foreign exchange. But things like gold or silver have value associated with them, and so they are acceptable everywhere. You have to understand that there is a difference between money and currency, because currency can be manipulated. The government has total control over it and also does manipulation. As much currency can be printed by the government as they want, but nobody can create money at their own will. Nobody can create gold coins at home. Mining needs to be done in order to get gold, and there are a limited number of resources for it. The limited resources and people's belief in it makes gold so much valuable. If you understand this concept, then let's move on to another one. Number 2. Centralized versus decentralized. The rupee that you use is controlled by the government, and they can print any number of notes they desire, which results in inflation. This is in the hand of only one organization, that is the government, and hence called centralized. On the other hand, decentralized means that no single person or organization has authority over it. Not me, not you, nor the government. Example, Bitcoin. No government is controlling it and nobody can create Bitcoins at their own will. There's a limited supply of it, and since there's a limited supply, it has a value associated with it. Due to its limited supply, people believe that its prices will go up in the future, and it acts similar as gold. But since no government is controlling it, there are no regulations associated with Bitcoin. But there's a huge difference here, let me explain. Just Google about China. China devalued its own currency in 2015. You might now be thinking that this would have adversely affected their own economy. But how this all works is that currencies like the dollar, euro, rupee or yuan are very much interconnected to each other. So they devalued their own currency, but it had an adverse effect on the US stock market as well as the oil prices in India. You can read more about it in this article on Investopedia. Now you might say that it is also possible to manipulate small cap cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin. For example, someone like Elon Musk comes and invests heavily in it or just says something about it on the internet. That affects the price sometimes because of the small market size of cryptocurrency right now. But as the market will grow, the whole market will become more stable. Compared to the stock market, the crypto market is relatively small. If anyone comes and puts 10 crores or say 100 crores in the stock market, that wouldn't quite manipulate the market as a whole. Even though it is also possible to just manipulate a single stock in the stock market too. If you want to see a detailed video on stocks versus crypto, let me know in the comment section below. Now coming to the third concept. Number 3. Fiat currency. Fiat currency in simple terms is a government issued currency that is not backed by a commodity such as gold. The rupee, dollar or the euro that we use are all fiat currencies. Some years ago, every country was only able to print currency in proportion to the amount of assets that they had or the amount of gold that they had. As of today's date, the currencies that the governments are printing are not backed by any assets. So it is up to the government to print any number of notes they desire. You might be knowing what happened with Zimbabwe. Similarly, there are other countries too that worsen their own economy by printing excess money. So since governments are in total control of these fiat currencies, people believe that it is fake currency. It is not backed by any gold or any assets. So converting the currency that you earn into assets like gold, silver, or even buying land can help in beating inflation. What that would mean is that the value of your money would not depreciate over time. Number 4. Digital versus physical currency. A few years ago, people didn't trust Paytm. People used to think that they are putting their money into Paytm wallets, but what if Paytm runs away? People had the most trust only on physical currency. Let me now share a small story with you. There was a man. He saved a lot of money over the years for his medical treatment. He used to put all his money in his cupboard, but he didn't know that a rat could get into the cupboard. So a rat got in and shredded all his notes into pieces. Now think about what that person would have been feeling after going through all this. It is true that you get to hold the physical currency and digital currency is just figures in your bank account. But it might happen that someone steals your currency, or you might even lose it, or even a rat can shred it into pieces. But digitally storing your currency is so much safer than just holding it in physical form. Cryptocurrencies are totally based on digital technology. They are only in the digital world. You cannot get a physical Bitcoin or Ethereum. All Bitcoins are only stored in your digital wallet. If you want to dive into the world of cryptocurrencies and buy your own Bitcoin or Ethereum, consider subscribing to this channel because I will be making videos on everything related to cryptocurrencies and show you how it is done. Finally, let's come to our fifth and most important concept. Number 5. Blockchain. Many people say that they don't have much trust on cryptocurrencies but trust blockchain technology a lot. And this is the same statement by the RBI governor. He said that the technology behind cryptocurrencies is something we should all adopt, that is blockchain technology. Now you might be thinking what blockchain actually is. In simple terms, blockchain can be considered similar to a ledger. A ledger means to keep a record of all the transactions that are happening between different accounts. Currently, the bank might be maintaining all your transactions and hence the ledger must be with the bank. But if you know Harshad Mehta's story, you would know that if an entry is not put into the ledger, it could result in a huge blunder and a large number of problems. And this is what most financial frauds are. That is, missing transaction entries from the ledger. And this type of thing has happened with many banks over the years. Now, what blockchain technology says is that you cannot delete or erase any entry from the ledger. There's simply no way to do so. Here, people have computers that have all the past blockchain data, and any new transaction would have to be verified by every computer on the network. So, if any error occurs at any stage, it would essentially mean that the transaction would not be processed. This means that nobody can manipulate the blockchain ledger. Every transaction is being recorded on the blockchain, and there's a lot of research going on this technology, and it is relatively new. So there's a lot going on, and it is quite normal whenever new technologies come into existence. You might have heard of the dot-com bubble, which happened when internet came into existence, and now everyone is using it. So when a technology is new, its users are limited and it takes time to gain trust. As things go well, it gains adoption. Now is your time to be an early action taker. So what do you think? What is the future of cryptocurrencies according to you? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, share this video with your friends so that they can also know about these 5 concepts that you have learned today. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.